Welcome to the 63rd episode of Gyani Sharmaji and 4th Wealth Management Podcast of Gyani Sharmaji Academy. Hi, I am Prabhu. You know, a lot of new investors jump straight to picking mutual funds based on last year's returns. I see it all the time. Someone logs onto a platform, sorts by highest one-year return, and thinks they've hit gold. Rachita, over to you.
Totally. And I've met folks who are convinced a great year means a great fund. What really surprises me is how often people forget that markets can be wildly unpredictable year to year. One good return doesn't guarantee future success.
Absolutely. And that temptation is even stronger when there's no financial advisor guiding them. Without a bit of hand-holding, it's easy to chase shiny numbers and miss the big picture.
Yeah, and direct-to-investor platforms make the mistake easy. No real warning signs pop up. It's almost like online shopping. You see the top-rated product and just click buy, except here, you might be risking your goals.
That actually reminds me, when you look beyond a single year and dig into consistency, patterns really start to emerge. A fund that's performed steadily over 5 or even 10 years tells a much better story.
Exactly, because anyone can have a lucky streak. But staying strong through market ups and downs? That's real skill. Take equity funds. Checking their 5-10-year track record sorts out flukes from true performers.
Plus, it helps to compare the fund not just to its own history, but also to its benchmark index. If it keeps beating the benchmark, that's a good sign the manager knows what they're doing.
And don't forget to stack it up against similar funds in the same category. Sometimes the whole sector does well, so you want to see if your pick is just riding the wave or actually leading it.
Funny you bring up comparing funds. Have you noticed how often people overlook risk? Everyone loves talking about returns, but few mention how much risk the fund is taking to get there.
That's so true. I always say, don't just chase high returns, check if the fund did it sensibly. Metrics like the Sortino ratio show if returns come with acceptable risk, not just wild swings.
It's a bit like picking a car. You don't want the flashiest one if it breaks down all the time. A steady, reliable ride may not win drag races, but it'll get you where you want to go.
Exactly. And risk-adjusted numbers help you find that reliable fund. They make sure you're not just getting lucky with high returns in a risky package.
Switching gears a bit, let's talk about something people often skip: matching a fund to your own financial goals. It doesn't matter how good a fund looks if it doesn't fit your needs.
I've seen that so many times. Like, someone saving for a down payment picks a long-term equity fund because the returns look great, but they need the money in 3 years. That's a mismatch waiting to happen.
Exactly. You need to think about your time horizon. Is this a short sprint or a long marathon? Your fund choice should fit the race you're running.
And then there's risk tolerance. Some people panic at the first dip, while others can stomach big swings. Picking a fund that matches your comfort zone is half the battle.
After all that, there are still more pieces to the puzzle, like costs. Low expense ratios aren't glamorous, but they really add up over time. Every bit saved goes right back to you.
Yeah, especially for long-term investors. A small difference in costs might seem minor now, but it can mean thousands more in your pocket 10 years down the line.
Then you've got fund manager experience and how diversified the fund is. Too concentrated, and you're taking unnecessary risk. Too scattered, and you might not get much growth.
And let's not forget tax. Even though it feels like an afterthought, tax efficiency can really make a difference in your actual returns, especially with equity or equity-oriented funds.
Oh, and before we wrap up, things like lock-in periods and exit loads matter too. Nothing worse than needing your money and finding out there's a penalty or a long wait involved. So bringing it all together, picking the right mutual fund is really about looking at the whole picture. Not just performance, but your own goals, risk, costs, and even the fund manager's track record.
It's a balanced approach, almost like building a meal. You want the right mix of flavors, returns, stability, low costs, and a strategy that matches your appetite.
And remember, there's no one-size-fits-all. It's about being strategic, setting your asset allocation, and making decisions that work for you, not just the latest trend.
Exactly. And if you keep all these factors in mind, you're way ahead of the average investor clicking sort by returns. Thanks for hanging out with us today, and happy investing! We will be back soon with our 5th Wealth Management Podcast